Om. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः वर्णानामर्थसङ्घानां रसानां छन्दसामपि मङ्गलानां च कर्तारौ वन्दे वाणी विनायकौ भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरं वन्दे बोधमयं नित्यं गुरुं शङ्कररूपिणं यमाश्रितो हि वक्रोऽपि चन्द्रः सर्वत्र वन्द्यते सीतारामगुणग्राम पुण्यारण्यविहरिणौ वन्दे विशुद्धविज्ञानौ कवीश्वर कपीश्वरौ उद्भवस्थितिसंहार कारिणीं क्लेशहारिणीं सर्वश्रेयस्करीं सीतां नतोऽहं रामवल्लभां यन्मायावशवर्ति विश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा हेर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवां बोधे स्थितिर्षावतां वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरं रामाख्यमीशं हरिं नानापुराणनिगमागमसम्मतं यद् रामायणे निगदितं क्वचिदन्यतोऽपि स्वान्तसुखाय तुलसीरघुनाथगाथा भाषा निबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति भाषा निबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः सीताया पतये नमः. And where is my English commentary? Let me open it. Let me open it. It went back to the first page. 80. One moment, we'll start. 70. Ayodhyakand Canto 1, correct? Now we are on 35th verse, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
35th. कहाँ गया 35th? ये आ गया. Okay. Now we are rocking. Okay. So what we were looking at, Naradji, last week we were talking about that just like children are reminded by parents, don't do that, don't tell lies, put the things in the right place, get up early in the morning, do your Sandhya Vandanam. So that potential is there in them, but it has to be invoked out by the parents. Similarly, whenever Bhagwan, Paramatma takes the avatar, that avatar has come for a purpose. Naradji is that inner instrument or inner intuitive or inner conscience which invokes or reminds the Lord of the purpose. Does it mean that the Lord has forgotten? No, Lord has not forgotten. He is all knowing. But for the vyavhar sake, Swamiji, how are you? I will also say, how are you? It's vyavhar. We both know we are not well. We both know. But we'll ask the question. So same way, Bhagwan also knows, Naradji also knows. But that is his role. Huh? So he says, what does he say here? Last week we saw, Ityuktva bahusho natva swanandat riplutah uvacha vachanam rama brahmana noditosmyaham ravanasya vadarthaya jatosi raghusattama idanim rajarakshartham pita tvam abhishekshati. Saying so, repeatedly bowing his head in reverence, Narad's eyes were filled with tears of joy and exhilaration because he was singing the glory of the Lord. Whenever we are in satsang or we are doing our japa or we are in a bhajan kirtan session, wherever it is happening, we find ourselves in that place. The bhav must be invoked. It is not a mechanical chanting of japa or it is not a mechanical singing of bhajan, isn't it? So, and when he was singing the glory of the Lord, oh, bhavuk ho gaye, ki, all these words are coming out of him. And that also, he being the devotee of the Lord, he sees that those words are only invoked by the Lord only. So, Lord is everywhere. So it is the Lord who is speaking through Narada to remind himself that I got this job. That's the Leela, isn't it? He said, "Oh, the best of clan of Raghu, O Sri Ram, Lord Brahma has sent me to you. You have incarnated, that is, revealed yourself with the express purpose of slaying the demon Ravana. But now your father Dashrath wants to anoint you as a prince, regent, crown prince, to take charge of the administration of the kingdom." So what does he say, Narad Muni? Because whose son is Narad Muni? Brahmaji. So his father told, go do your job. So he came. So yes, he's just passing on the message. He's only a messenger. That your job is to kill the evil Ravana because he's creating too much mischief on the earth. And remember how the Adhyatma Ramayana began. Prithvi Mata, along with all the gods, went to Brahmaji and they said, please tell me a solution. How do I counteract this Ravana? There's too much adharma going on. He said, that is not in my jurisdiction. I know only how to create. I don't know how to destroy. Let's go to Narayana. So they go to Narayana. And Narayana then says, give them the ashwasan, assurance that I will be born as a son of Dashrath. All that was told, isn't it? So then we have seen this till here we have, then Yadi Rajya Bisansakto Ravanam Nahanishyasi Pratigyate Krutarama Bhubhara Haranaya Vai Tat Satyam Kuru Rajendra Satya Sandhastvameva Hi Shrutvai Tad Gaditam Ramo Naradam Prahasasmitam. Till here we had done last week. So what is that? Oh Sri Ram, Yadi Rajya Bisansakto Ravanam Nahanishyasi. If you get lost in administration of your kingdom, how will you get away from the kingdom to go and kill Ravana? Ravana. I am getting too corrupted. Pratigyate kruta Rama bhubhara haranaya vai. And pratigya te kruta Rama. What about your pratigya? What about your vow? What about your assurance that you gave to Prithvi Mata, Devatas and Brahmaji that I will do this job for you guys I will, in this incarnation? So he's saying, what about Pratigya te Kruta Rama Bhubhara Haranaya vai? And if you don't fulfill your vow, how will the earth be rid of the evil? What will happen to your promise that you had made to the gods, including earth, and removing the burden of the earth by slaying Ravana? Then, Tat Satyam Kuru Rajendra, Tat Satya Sanghastuamevahi. Then he says that, so, O King of Kings, make your promise come true because you are such steadfast and unwavering in truthfulness. So, you are a Satya Sankalpa. You are, here the word here is Tat Satyam Kuru Rajendra. When we do Chinmayananda's 108 names, there Om Satya Sankalpaya Namaha, Satyavrataya Namaha. So this goes to the Lord also. There is no speech, not like us. Tu मैं ये वो कर दिया सब मजा. उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है. But when he says something even by mistake, him, the rishis, it comes true. Like Durvasa Rishi, even by out of a fit of anger, he curses someone, but it is always a blessing. His every word has to come out, it has to manifest. So here he is saying that make your promise come true because you are steadfast. Steadfast means that you are dhrud. You are you hold on to what you say. You don't waver from it. That is steadfast. And second is the second word is saying, using the word, and unwavering in truthfulness, because whatever you say is the truth. It is not that it is those words will lead to truth. It is not like that. Your words are truth. This is the sign of a complete integrity. Complete integrity. This is what every seeker must strive for. Manasa vacha kaya. Same. Every word that erupts out of our mouth must be his expression, not our will. When we recognize this, only recognition is required. When we recognize this, automatically the integration, that for some great ones, because they left their sadhana somewhere in the last life, so it clicks very quickly. But people like us, lecture देते रहो फिर भी click नहीं होता. So we must, it is only his grace that he can get it integrated. But then what is our effort? Our effort is not to integrate. Our effort is to remember him. By his grace, integration will happen. Hearing those words of Sage Narad, Sri Ram smiled and said, so why did Sri Ram smile? Because he already knows. It is just an excuse that Naradji, for the benefit of the world, for a conversation, got an opportunity to sing the glory of the Lord Sri Ram. And in that process, he remembered what his father told him. Okay, yaar, yaad dila dena. Like, you have read that story, the lion who was taken away by the wolves, and he kept thinking he was a wolf, till one day he came across an actual lion. He says, wow, उसको देखिए इसने भी हाउ, अरे ये आवाज कहाँ से आया? अभी तक तो मैं वाउ वाउ कर रहा था. Ow, wolves do that, isn't it? You don't know?
We don't know here.
Hey.
We was on India.
So in India there are more wolves. Here there are no wolves in Australia. In Australia there are no wolves. In India there are many wolves. They make this sound. Wow! And what does lion do? Have you seen lion in zoo or not? झूठ बोलता है. लेके गया इसको जू? नहीं लेके गया. मैं सोचा मेरी खींच रहा है फिर से, मैं इसलिए बोला झूठ बोल रहा है. अभी तक लाइन नहीं देखा. He has a beard like Swami ji. He comes and pounces. He has got teeth longer than Swami ji. He has got a mane. ऊपर भी ज़्यादा बाल होते हैं. So anyway, so lion, when he sees his own, then the other lion takes him to the water. And he looks. He says, look at the wolves, how they look. Yeah, they look like this. You look at yourself, how you look. Arey, I look different like the, up compared to them. Suddenly, he realized that he is the lion. And he roared. No more, ow. See? Same way. Same way. When we do sadhana, when we, some of you kids, you get Gayatri mantra, it is coming to recognize that you are not this individual. Au, rote raho. Then what are you? Oh, you are the lion. What is that? You are the Atma. You are the intelligent one. You are the discriminative one. That Gayatri mantra invokes that potential. Anyone can give. No, it must be taken from someone who has practiced, who has some, the capacity to invoke it. Not by anyone. Don't we say to children, oh, you can finish, you can do this, you can. We know you can. So same way, here Ramchandra ji, he is, where are we? Similarly, Ramchandra ji, who already knows it, he gives assurance to Naradji now. What does he say? From here today we have to begin. Shrunu Narad me kinchid vidyate viditam kvachit pratignatam cha yat purvam karishye tanna sanshayah kintu kalanurodhena tat prarabdha sanshayat हरिष्ये सर्वभूभारं क्रमेणासुरमण्डलम् रावणस्य विनाशार्थं शोगन्तादण्डकाननं चतुर्दश समास्तत्र युषित्वा मुनिवेशधृक्. He says, O Narad, Shunu. Shunu means to listen. Listen. O Narad, listen. Is there anything about which I don't know? Ramchandra ji is saying. आज कोई मिलने के लिए आया. Swami ji, this happened, Swami ji, that happened, Swami ji, this happened, Swami ji, that happened. I said, Amma, I know. I have not gone to there, I have not been in those circumstances, what she has experienced. And she says, Swamiji, I said, I know. Sometimes you have also said, because you have seen more years. And when a child says, for him it's something new, and you say, yeah, I know, I understand. Similarly, Ramchandra ji is saying here that giving ashwasan to Narad ji that, oh Narad, is there anything about which I don't know? Suddenly, in one line, what is this Sanskrit line? Shunu Narad me kinchit vidyate aviditam kvachit. Is there anything that I don't know? Suddenly he is showing his true Narayana, truth as Narayana. Because for everyone else he is just a son of Dasharath. But suddenly he is saying, I know. Is there anything I don't know? Pratigyatam cha yat purvam karishye tanna sanshayah. He says, I shall without doubt fulfill all that I have promised earlier. we must also. If we are committed anything to anyone, even by thought in our, you may not have said it, but you have said, oh, for that person, I'm going to do that. And you leave it. Janam lena padega phir agla. Or you don't make those wishes in your mind. Many wishes, I'll tell you, when I was a young boy, I've said it many times. When I was a young boy, their age, my mom's brother, he gave a viewmaster. In that, Holland was there, Switzerland was there, Germany was there, France was there, Italy was there. And you used to do like this, click, click, and the circular spool inside, it will keep moving, and beautiful pictures of each country. And that time a desire arose that I have to visit these places. Every one of those places I saw. Every one of those places. And in that, one kid was lying on the side of the mountain on a slope, all flowers, and he's just lying down in the flowers. I took a photograph like that also. Not realizing that when I found that place, I was trekking, I found that place and I said, oh my God, this is exactly what I saw when I was a kid. Please take a photograph. Suppose these wishes that I want to see these countries, these places, had not fulfilled. फिर क्या करते? Life after life after life after life, you will be waiting to fulfill all that. So here, Ramchandraji is saying that I shall without doubt fulfill all that I have promised. That conviction is there. You must have made a conviction sometime. Some दृढ़ एक अंदर से एक push आया होगा that I'm going to go to Australia. Isn't it? आ गए. You worked towards it and you came here. Some come with visa, some come without visa. But the intention is strong. If one person has a strong intention to be something or someone, it will take him to that. But intention is required, pure intention. The more integrated we are, the stronger the intention. And you don't have to keep, whenever intention is one thing, you don't have to keep remembering it again and again. Once in that meditative mood or in front of God or in puja or while when you are in your own, with your own self, that time deeply you have that intention, after that you forget it. It will work itself out. It will make you move in that direction. And that is what Bhagavan is telling here. Ramchandraji is saying there that I shall without doubt fulfill all that I have promised earlier. And we must. If we are committed to something, committed to someone, we must fulfill it and clear it. Don't leave it because that person doesn't know it's okay. Don't do that. This when you live life like that, even in your thoughts which others don't know, then integrity starts happening. Because you slowly are moving towards what you think is what you speak is what you act in life. समझ रहे हो? ये बहुत ज़रूरी है, very important. And that is what makes a man. Man is not the one who is desiring, lusting after the world. That is not man. Man is he whose mind is under his control, who is equanimous. That is man. Then he says in the 37th verse, Kintu kalanurodhena tat prarabdha sankshayat harishya sarva bhubharam kramena suramandalam. He says that but it has to be gradual. You don't suddenly grow up. You're not Hanumanji. From one moment to the next, suddenly, you know how quickly Hanumanji was growing when he was a baby? When he came into whose mother was it? Who was his mother? Anjana. So when he was born, very quickly he became about their age. He didn't go through first crying, then nappy changing, then crawling, then learning to stand, and then learning to walk, then running. All this happened within a day. All this happened within a day. And mother was surprised. How did this happen? And no nappy change. Always that lal chaddi. He was born with that. So as he grew, his chaddi also grew. But in our case, how is it? Everything is gradual. We learn to slowly, we learn to crawl, we slowly learn to walk, we slowly learn to run. Then we slowly learn Marathi, then we slowly learn English and we forget Marathi. Huh? You have forgotten? No? You can read Marathi? Huh? What about your brother? You have forgotten everything in 2-3 months? Yes? बदमाश हाँ मैं तो देखूंगा आज तो तेरी खैर नहीं बेटा मेरे को तूने मौका दे दिया बहुत दिनों से मैं वेट कर रहा था अभी तो तेरी खैर नहीं हिंदी समझ आती है भूल गया वो भी भूल गया हाँ I shall but it has to be gradual just like sunrise is gradual, sunset is gradual. Full moon over 14-15 days, slowly, gradually the full moon comes, isn't it? From full moon to no moon, it is a gradual decrease. In our life also, first we are child, then we become teenager, then we become youth, then we become grown up. So it's a gradual development in our body, in our knowledge, in our abilities. So Ramchandra ji is telling to Narad Muni, but it has to be gradual. I shall progressively slay the demons one by one as their destiny ordains, or in other words, as the good or bad effects of their past deeds come to an end. See, Ramchandra ji is very, very clear. This is where we as human beings are not clear. This is what we must be clear. Everything happens at the right time, at the right place by His will. And we think that we are creating our life, we are unfolding our life, we are securing our life, we are blah, 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 blah. सब कुछ उसकी मर्जी से हो रहा है. Everything is by His will. And here Ramchandra ji is in a human form and he says, only when everything will happen gradually and when their prarabdha, बोलते हैं ना, like Krishna Bhagavan, he said, Shishupal's 100 mistakes I will pardon. Now, he didn't complete 100 in one day. He said many things slowly, but when he was in that hall when the puja was going on, that time he blurted out of frustration. His gada was full. Time aa gaya. Same way, we eat wrong foods, we drink wrong things. Then slowly, it keeps building up, and then one day, some disease, it takes a form of some disease. Disease doesn't happen suddenly. Loss of memory doesn't happen suddenly. Do you suddenly wake up or do you suddenly go to sleep? No. Slowly, it's a gradual glide into the sleep. See? So whenever, so in our life also, we have to think that whatever is happening, we must continue to do meritorious deeds. continue to do punya, karma. That's all we have the right as a jiva. Only do punya karma. Don't do adharma. Do dharma. Follow dharma. And whatever is happening in your life, take it as the prasad. If something is not happening right, understand it was meant to go that way because of some karma that you did in your past life. See? So here when Bhagavan says that I shall progressively slay the demons one by one as their destiny ordains, as and when their time comes, when their ghada is full, when their pot is full, when their path has come to its peak, it has become complete, because they are moving, all asuras are moving in that direction anyway. Which direction are we going? Here it is not about them. Where are we going? Are we going in the adharmic direction or are we going in the righteous direction? Are we collecting more demerit points or are we collecting merit points? Are we collecting more, continuously comparing, competing, talking behind the back, manipulating, criticizing? Is that what we are doing? Or are we seeing goodness in everyone who comes across us? Are we trying, whoever comes in our life, for whatever reason, whatever. Today one Amma came, you see how beautiful. Examples come. So one Amma came, one day, she said, Swamiji, my son, so her daughter had a heartbreak. Heartbreak, you understand, right? So the boyfriend left her. So she had the mother was very disturbed. She said to her son, who was younger, you find, I don't want you to be like your sister. He quickly went and found one. Till he was fine. Till then he was fine. Quickly found one. And somehow the sister came to know, she came home, the girlfriend of the boy, she was coming, going, I also met, we have eaten together, everything. After many, many months, now it's almost 1 year now, no, since December, January, so almost 8-9 months now. Now she told this lady, she sent one photograph, this is my family. She says, your family, your mother, your daughter, sister? Yeah. After 9 months, she is telling her that when I came here as a scholarship student, my sister was also here studying and she went back to visit my parents, and my mother and my sister were driving and they had an accident and both of them passed away, died, accident. And this lady who came today, she started crying when that girl told her that. And she's usko सांत्वना दे रही है, she's giving solace. नहीं auntie, it's okay, don't worry, it's many years ago now, it's okay. She says, Amma, Swamiji, how can this girl is so matured and I am so immature? I said, that's what I am asking. That's what I am asking. That what did you learn from this? She has learned from her experience. And she did not one day in last 9 months that I have seen her or they have seen more, that ever she wanted compassion, ever she wanted more attention, never she expressed self-pity. No, she is very confident of herself. She trusts that whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And she just keeps living without being a burden on anyone. So, Swamiji, she's really wonderful. I said, yes. And then she said, oh, my mother also, my grandmother, she had 6-7 kids and she was a widow at 36 years old. In those days, it was, 20, 30 years, 40 years ago, it was difficult. So people say so many things, but she single-handedly took care of everyone, took care of us, took care of the grandchildren, everyone, great-grandmother. Huh? How did she do it? Why am I not able to do it? I come to you and complain about my two kids, about my mind. She also had a mind. She had society to deal, 6 children to bring up. She made everyone get into a good profession. How she must have handled it? I said, I don't know, but she did. That strength to do that only comes when you stop complaining. That strength to do that only comes when you stop comparing and competing. You don't care what the world thinks. You do what is right. And you don't live in the past. Oh, poor me, my husband went away. Now how will I do it? She could not have taken it. She said, okay, that's happened. Now I got this job to do. I will just do it to the best of my ability. But so then she said, so Swamiji, I'm only complaining. I said, yes. So am I doing the best of my ability? I said, no. I must improve. I said, yes. So I said, Amma, this is God's grace that this person came into your life and I didn't ask you, you are telling me, and it's a lesson, and you are saying that you learned a big lesson from this young girl. That is how we have to move in life. Learn from everything and everyone, every experience. But we want to, what will the society say? What will the people say? What will others say? Why other girls are marrying and my daughter is not getting married? There's no end to this. So everything is gradually moving towards. So if you want everything to move in the right direction or whichever direction, I'm not saying whatever is in your prarabdha that will happen, but your job is stress less, complain less, and spend all the time remembering the divine. Then slowly, slowly things start unfolding by themselves in the right, in whichever direction it has to happen. So, and I shall thereby remove the burden of the earth. Bhagavan is clearly giving the assurance that I shall harishye sarva bhubharam. Harishye, har Mahadev, the one who removes everything, takes away everything. Here, Bhagavan is, Ramchandraji is telling, harishye bhubharam. Bhu, earth. Bharam, weight, burden. I will remove the burden of the earth. He is giving the assurance. Kramena asura mandalam means gradually, when everything comes to its peak. A flower cannot, you see a bud, rose bud. Oh, such a beautiful bud, I want a flower, and you open it. Will it become a flower? What will happen? It will die. The petals will break. It has its own slope. Whenever it's mature, then after a few days, automatically it comes to be a flower, isn't it? Then it stays for 2-3 days, whatever the time is there. But if you try to force it open, it will break. So if I catch your hair, and your feet, I put it under my feet, and I pull you up, will you become tall? What will happen? Your hair will come in my hand only. That's it. Na? You will become Ganji. Mundu. That's all there will be. So we can't force anything to happen quickly. We want quick results. That is what the problem is. Instant results we want. But life doesn't work that way. And then frustration sets in. So this is another lesson. That with these words we must understand that life is unfolding gradually at its own pace. And life is for whom? It's not for you. Life is of the body, of the equipment. And equipment is, this particular equipment has come as it has come due to prarabdha. And that prarabdha, whatever has to happen, whatever disease has to come, whenever you have to die. Yoga Sutra says what? Whatever yoni you are going to be born, whatever, how many number of breaths you are going to breathe, and what bhoga you are going to experience in this life is all predetermined. So, which means death is predetermined. Then why worry? Then there should be urgency. I don't know when is my time coming. Because we are identified with this equipment, I don't know when my time is coming. So let me be always prepared. Be prepared. But instead, we are prepared to indulge in the world. We are prepared to manipulate, corrupt, fulfill our desires, blah, etc., etc. Then he says, Ravanasya vinashartham koganta dandakananam chaturdasha samastatra rushitva yushitva munivesha druk. He says, in order to kill Ravana, I shall proceed to the Dandakaranya forest tomorrow and shall live there disguised as a hermit for the next 14 years. Tomorrow. And what was happening just before this conversation? What had happened? The king had announced that Ramchandraji is going to be ordained as the crown prince. After that, Naradji came and put these words, and Ramchandraji says, tomorrow I'll go to Dandakaranya. He knows everything anyway. So, continuing, Sita mishena tam dushtam sakulam nashayamyaham evam rame pratignyate narada pramumodaha padakshinatrayam krutva dandavat pranipatyatam anugnatascha ramena yayau devagatim munihi. I shall destroy that wicked fellow along with his entire clan on the excuse of Sita's abduction. Ramchandraji is already telling Naradji that I'm going to do this. And this is the excuse that I will have to kill him. इसी को बोलते हैं लीला. See, the joy of knowing and then doing and not getting lost in it, it's different. So he's saying Narad was extremely pleased and exhilarated by Sri Ram making such a vow. Evam Rame Narada pramumodaha. Mod pramumoda means extremely happy. After that, pradakshinatrayam krutva, he took 3 pradakshina of Ramchandraji and dandavat pranipatyatam, and did dandavat. Dandavat, lying down flat on the ground, touching your body at 8 points, and then doing what we call as Sahtang Namaskar. He did that to Ramchandraji. After that, Anugnatascha Ramena, having taken permission, Anugnatascha, he taking his permission, Yayau Deva Gatim Munihi, he went to the gods, he went to the Swarga heavens, to the gods. So in this manner, then continuing in the 41st verse, Sambadam padhati shrunoti sansmared vayo nityam munivara ramayo sabhaktya samprapnotyamara sudurlabham vimoksham kaivalyam virati purasaram kramena. That person who devotionally, diligently, sincerely and with due reverence, faith, conviction and belief reads, hears or remembers daily this dialogue between Sage Narada and Sri Ram gains detachment and renunciation from this mundane, delusionary, entrapping world and attains that supreme and only truthful stature called moksha, deliverance of the soul from this mundane, delusionary world, emancipation or salvation. A stature which is most difficult even for the gods to attain or achieve. Even gods cannot attain moksha. They are locked in place. Only human beings can attain moksha. And therefore, Khush Khabri is, in the retreat, Swamiji is taking Moksha Gita.
Wow.
He said, you decide. So I was looking what to take. I chose what I wanted. Then I sent him. He says, हाँ ले सकते हैं, but I can't complete it. I said, no problem, Swamiji. Next year we'll do it. Half you do it now, or 2 years, 3 years, how does it matter? अपने को तो टाइम पास करना है स्वामी जी के साथ, और टॉपिक अच्छा है तो स्वामी जी तो मस्त बोलेंगे, नहीं भी बोले तो क्या है. So in this way, so remember, this chapter was not only about Ramchandra ji reassuring Naradji, or Naradji reminding Ramchandra ji what job he has to do. That is secondary. More important than that is the Naradji remembered Ramchandra ji is none other than Narayana. Naradji remembered that Ramchandra ji is none other than Narayana, and how from that Parabrahma Paramatma the whole creation in the form of Narayana and Lakshmi, Purusha Prakriti, and then the three God, Trigunatmika Srishti, then Hiranyagarbha, then Virat Purush, etc. How this has happened, that was explained, and that it is all his Leela. Even though he is not doing anything, the Leela is taking place, because Leela takes place, the change takes place where? In the Shakti, in the Prakriti. And Prakriti is inseparable from the Purusha principle. Purusha is independent, can remain independent. Purusha can remain independent. Are you dependent on your sister?
Yes.
Yes. Why? Every day you need a beating from her.
Yes.
Can you live without daddy, mummy?
No.
I can. So I am independent, you are dependent. Can you live without body? I'm asking grown-ups. Can you live without body?
Yes, Swami. Yes, Swami.
How? When? Where?
No, yeah.
In sleep.
Huh?
In sleep, Swami.
In sleep. इतना वेदांत पढ़ने सुनने के बाद अभी सिर्फ स्लीप ही याद आया तेरे को?
तब तो we don't have the identification with body.
अभी भी आइडेंटिफिकेशन है. मतलब तुम अभी भी शरीर के बारे में सोचते हो. तुमने शरीर को ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस दी है. इसके आंसर में इसने भगवान को ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस दी है. तुम्हारे आंसर में तुमने शरीर को ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस दी है. कोई बोलेगा मेरा प्रारब्ध, फिर उसने अपने कर्म के ऊपर ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस दिया है. हम बोलते हैं ना हमारा भाग्य या हमारा प्रारब्ध, इट इज़ अवर डेस्टिनी. हमारे फ्रॉम बिकॉज व्हाट वी डिड इन अवर लास्ट लाइफ, देयरफॉर सच लाइफ वी आर गेटिंग दिस टाइम. वेयर इज योर अटेंशन? इट्स नॉट पास्ट लाइफ और दिस लाइफ. योर अटेंशन इज ऑन योर कर्मा. कर्मा इज डन by karma is done. Who is the karta? Who is the doer? Ego. Your attention is on the doer, that I am the doer. I did bad karma, therefore I am suffering now. I did good karma, so I am happy now. Where should be our attention? On the Paramatma. जैसी विधि राखे राम तही विधि रहिए. As he keeps us, so be. He is pervading everything. Ishwar. Those who are listening Thursday's class, Ishwara sarva bhutanam ruddesha iti tishtati. He is everywhere. You have to develop your vision for that. For that, we have to be attentive of the divine principle. Attentive only. Because He's always present. That is why we are so grateful to the Lord that He is allowing us to think of Him through the scriptures again and again and again, every day. Every day the same topic in some or the other color. So whoever listens to this with deep devotion, reverence, etc., etc., he becomes, what is that? Where are we? Gains detachment and renunciation. Detachment and vivek, and he gains vairagya. Vairagya from what? Vairagya from the mundane world. What is mundane world? What does mundane mean? Mundane means a world that, bolo, someone tell me, what is mundane?
Day to day.
Day to day. What else? Put it in another words. This recycled world. Waking, dream deeply, waking, dream deeply, waking, dream deeply, waking, dream deeply. That which can never give you happiness, we are focused on that. And that which is of the nature of happiness, the Ishvara, and where is He? Hruddesheti sistati. He is sitting, He is located in your heart. As what? As your Atma. And He is the closest, and we are never thinking about Him. Whose tragedy? Not His, our tragedy. So, gains detachment and renunciation from this mundane delusionary world and attains the truthful stature, the supreme stature of moksha. He becomes Jivan Mukta by reading this chapter again and again. Now we enter into the Ayodhyakand, second chapter. And what is this chapter about? Preparation for crowning of Sri Ram and conversation between him and sage Vashishta, Manthara incites Kekai. So here few things are happening. First is preparation of the Abhishek and all that of Sri Ram. Second, Yoga Vashishta, the lessons that, I think that will be it, the lessons that Sage Vashishta gave to Ramchandraji, if that is the topic. And the third is Manthara incites Kekai, means she triggers Kekai. Kekai is very loving towards Ram. She loves Ramchandraji more than her own son Bharat. You see? But then some negative influence happens when we give more importance to a wrong person who is not pure, who is not right, who has not the right discrimination. But just because they have taken, we also say, no, we took care of you from childhood till now, and now you answer back. If you behave, which child will respect if you speak like that to the child? That means you are demanding. That means you are blackmailing and demanding respect. Respect should come naturally. You only have to make yourself in that, mold yourself in that personality, and respect automatically comes. We can't demand respect. We can't command respect. Respect comes. So you make yourself stature such that people automatically revere and respect. Think. So when this Kaikai, the negative influence, so Manthara, since her childhood, Kaikai had taken care of, since her childhood, that is Kaikai, she was taken care of by a maid servant. Her name was Manthara. So she has seen her childhood, teenage, youth. She knows all the secrets, and because she has known her from childhood, and she triggers the negative inside Kaikai, and she starts hating Sri Ram. She wants, she doesn't hate, maybe hate, I don't know, it's too strong a word, but she wants her son to become the king and not Sri Ram, even though she loved Sri Ram the most. But in that moment, she forgot her love, she forgot her attachment to Sri Ram, which was giving her so much happiness, but only for getting the kingdom. And that is that when the verses come, we will see. So here he says, what? Sri Mahadeva Uvacha. Remember, this whole Adhyatma Ramayana is the discussion between Sri Ram and Uma Parvati. She has asked the.
Lord Shiva.
Huh?
Lord Shiva and Parvati.
हाँ तो oh Lord Shiva and Parvati, and she, because she asked, whom do you meditate on? He said, Ramchandraji. What is his greatness? He looks like a human being. Then the whole conversation started. अथ राजा दशरथः कदाचिद् रहसि स्थितः वसिष्ठं स्वकुलाचार्यम् आहूयेदमभाषत भगवन् राममखिलाः प्रशंसन्ति मुहुर्मुहुः पौराश्च निगमावृद्धा मन्त्रिणश्च विशेषतः ततः सर्वगुणोपेतं रामं राजीवलोचनं ज्येष्ठं राज्येऽभिषेक्ष्यामि वृद्धोऽहं मुनिपुङ्गव. So, अथ राजा दशरथः कदाचिद् रहसि स्थितः. Lord Shiva, Sri Mahadeva Uvacha. Uvacha spoke. Who spoke? Sri Mahadev. Dev, gods. Mahadev, God of gods. Maha, greatest. Greatest God of gods. Who is that? Mahadev. Bolo Har Har Mahadev. He spoke. He is speaking to Parvati ji. He said, Atha Raja Dasharatha, one day, while sitting alone, Kadachid Rahasi Stitaha, Dasharatha called Vasishtam Swakulacharyam Ahuyedam Abhashata. He called his Guru Vasishta. See, every prime minister has a think tank. Every prime minister has a think tank. Advisors. Similarly, every chief minister, premier also has a think tank for their state. Similarly, every king used to have a think tank. And who was his think tank? Yes, there were many, but he used to be specifically following the diktats of one guru, one teacher. And here, the teacher of the Raghukul, in which Ramchandraji and Dasharatji are there, it is Sage Vashishta. And he called Sage Vashishta, he was the priest. And, O Bhagwan, O respected, revered one, all the citizens, elderly ones who are well versed in the Vedas, that is, are learned, and the ministers praise Sri Ram repeatedly. He is creating a foundation. He is telling to Sage Vashishta that, O great one, is he saying, O great one, all ministers, all citizens, all people in Ayodhya, whether in the court or outside, they all of them look up to Sri Ram. They are very impressed by Sri Ram. They are devoted to Sri Ram. And they are, and even those Brahmins who are well versed in the Vedas, they also praise Sri Ram repeatedly. So, O the most exalted sage, O Sage Vashishta, O great one, it is my thought, it is my wish that since I have become old, I should put my eldest son, the lotus-eyed Sri Ram, who possesses all good characters and virtues, on the throne. I want to make him the crown prince. Dasharath Maharaj was that time 10,000 years old. He was not getting children. That's why he had no person to hand over the kingdom to. In his old age, he invoked the fire, called the Rishyasringa Rishi, he asked Sage Vashishta. Sage Vashishta said that you call Rishyashringi and Rishyashringa Rishi. Rishyashringa was son of Vashishta. And Dasharatha, King Dasharatha had a daughter. She was married to Rishyashringa. And he called him, and he is the one who is going to he will do the fire sacrifice, and then whatever your desire is, that will be fulfilled. Now, Sage Vashishta, he is a Trikaladarshi. He knows everything. He could see it is the right time that the Lord is going to come and take incarnation, isn't it? So everything has to happen. Why didn't he tell before? Because King Dasharatha never asked before. Why didn't he tell? Why should he tell when nobody asks? Will a mirror reflect anything when you don't stand in front of it? Will it reflect you? No. If you don't ask a question, no answer. Isn't it? If the child is not hungry, mummy will not give food. ठीक है यार, time pass करो. क्या करना है? See? Understand the principle. So he did not. And now again gradual. Ramchandraji has grown up. He has become a teenager. In that time, he has gone to Sage Vashishta. He has studied the scriptures. He has come back, and all those things have happened. And he has gone and traveled the kingdom with his brothers and everything. So the King Dasharatha is saying that I am getting old, and now my son has become how old? He's 14, 15 years old now. 16 years. When he got married, he was 16. So he may be 15-year-old now. Some places they say both were 16 years old, Sita and Ram. Some places they say Ramchandraji was 16 years and Sita was 8 years old. So we don't know. We were not there. We just take it. They got married. It is my thought. So he says, now I am getting old. Now I think he's grown up and he's got all the qualities and all the abilities. And his sense of judgment is also correct, and he's for the dharma. He's compassionate. He's not he doesn't have जो भी अभी शब्द नहीं आ रहा, याद आ रहा. He is dependable. So I think we should make him the crown prince. Bharato matulam drashtum gata shatrugna sanyuktaha abhishekshye shwa evashu bhavanstacchanumodatam sambhara sambriyantam cha gaccha mantraya raghavam uchriyantam patakascha nana varna samantataha. At this time, Bharat and Shantanu have gone to pay a visit to their maternal uncle's place, but still I want to anoint Sri Ram on the throne tomorrow itself. Why? Like some stubborn people, Prarabdha hai abhi. What did Ramchandraji say just now to Naradji? We just covered it. What did he say? Tomorrow only I will go into Dandakaranya forest. Thank you. I know what I have come here for. Naradji was just reminding him. Now Ramchandraji is Satyanishtha, Satya Sankalpa. If he says tomorrow only I will go, how I will go, that is not our problem. Where our tension comes, our tension in life comes because we want to control situations. Ramchandra did not control situation. He said, yeah, tomorrow itself I will go. How I will go, Oh, go. He has already said, now we'll see how it happens. He doesn't react. He doesn't, no, I don't want to, don't do that, daddy, please. Nothing like that. If he has made a statement, why his statement is going to work out the situations in the future? Because when he decides something, he is full of integrity. Manasa, Vacha, Kaya are one. When we say, Saket, sit straight, it doesn't work. Why? Thank you. Little bit integrated. A little bit integrated. He did it for my benefit. Huh? Why our children don't listen to us? No integrity. If you live by what you say, then it's a the children are also watching, people are watching. So here he says that at this time, the King Dasharath is saying that Bharat and Shatrughna, we told you before that Shatrughna and Bharat had been taken by their maternal uncle to Kandahar, and King Dasharath is remembering that, but he says, I still, even if they are not there, I still want to make King our Sri Ram as the crown prince. Give me your consent on this matter. He is forcefully taking the consent. Oh, the best among sages, you should make arrangements for collecting all the paraphernalia required for the purpose of this anointment, and should go to Sri Ram and advise him accordingly. Multicolored flags and bunting should be put up in the city in all the directions to celebrate the occasion. So basically, see what do you see in this verse? What I just read. What is that you are understanding? Tell me something. Let me see. What is the mood here?
Ashwati is being he's being forced, not forced, he's being moved to act in a certain way.
In the right direction is thinking. Sage Vashishta is the Kulu Guru. You don't give him orders. You ask his suggestion. See that? And what is happening here? He is giving, King Dasharath is giving order. This is the problem. This is the mistake here that I can see. It doesn't say anything there, but I see that. And where it is like that, then things have to. All this is happening because of whom? Is it that King Dasharath is disrespectful towards Sage Vashishta? No. Then why is it happening? Because before King Dasharath even spoke to Sage Vashishta, Sri Ram, who is the greatest one, has already made a sankalpa that tomorrow I am going to go to the Dandakaranya for that purpose. Now, if that is the case, his intention is very clear. Things have to unfold in that to make that event happen. If your intention is pure, then there is nothing in this creation that can stop in you and your intention. Good or bad. Ravana had a bad intention. Did anyone come to stop him? No. But there will be always consequence. Whatever action you take, whatever intention is there, there will be consequence. But Sri Ram's intention is not that he wants. He is doing it because the Mother Earth, Devtas and the Creator Brahmaji, they all want. This is, be very clear. Ravana's intention was personal. Ramchandraji's intention is universal. It is not his own. There is no individual axe to grind. There is no individual desire to be fulfilled. I want to kill Ravan. No, I don't want to kill Ravan. He as much as he loves the Mother Earth, that much he loves Ravan. Why? Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam. Because Narayana Bhagwan, he is in Ravan also, he is in Mother Earth also. But at the relative level, that Ravana is forgotten the Narayana within him and is creating trouble. Just like we have forgotten the Narayana within and we are trying to run our life. We want to control our family. Ravana did not control his family, he controlled the three worlds, that's all. Automatically in that family also came. His vision is big, you also have that type of vision. Then you will also get killed by Ram. वो भी नहीं करना है, वो भी नहीं करना है. We are neither here nor there. देखो. Then he says, and he is giving order to Sage Vashishta that you start making all the arrangements for the Rajyabhishek and decorate the whole city for this auspicious occasion. Now, normally, what do you do for when this type of thing happens? तुम कुंडली देखते हो, तुम astrological chart देखते हो, you will see if it is an auspicious day, auspicious time, etc. So many things. That is the job of Sage Vashishta. But here, suddenly this a wayward thought came into King Dasharatha. I'm getting old, I need to hand over. Oh, even if Bharat and Shatrugna are there, I don't care. I want to anoint him tomorrow only. When things are done such abruptly, then इसका consequence होता है. क्या टाइम हो गया भैया? 15 minutes. तोरणानि विचित्राणि स्वर्णमुक्तामयानि वै आहूय मन्त्रिणं राजा सुमन्त्रं मन्त्रिसत्तमम् आज्ञापयति यद्यत्वां मुनिस्तत्तत्समानय यौवराज्येऽभिषेक्ष्यामि शोभूते रघुनन्दनम्. Besides that, golden and pearl bedecked festoons, and so he is telling Sage Vashishta what I need. He says, decorate all the paths and everything, put the flags and buntings all along the city roads, and then festoons and hangings of various colors and shapes. You know, जैसे ये आकाश दीवा बनाते हैं वो सब, all those things. Shapes and sizes should be tied everywhere. Then the king summoned the best of his ministers, Sumantra. Sumantra was his right hand man. He was the home minister. So, Sumantra, and informed him that he would anoint Sri Raghunandan, Sri Ram, as the prince regent the next day. Agyapayati yadyatvam munis tat samanaya. Next day, and ordered him to collect all the requirements for that ceremony as required by Sage Vashishta. So Sage Vashishta is not going to do by himself. He needs a team. So who is the team? Sumantra, who is the most trusted one. Who is Sumantra? Sumantra, the one who gives always right advice without fear. Sumantra. So King Dasharatha, who is Dasharatha? The one who has all his 10 senses under his control. And therefore, he has a right hand person, his home minister, his right hand minister, his best minister, Sumantra. Only when you have all your senses under control, then you are available to good advice. When you are a slave of your senses, then you will not listen to good advice, because you are pulled by your desires, pulled by your likes and dislikes. Then who will listen to the right mantrana that is coming? Sumantrana. Only when our senses are under our control, then we become available to the right advice. Here I am telling you from Dasharath and Sumantra. All these characters are inside only. You control your senses, you will become available to the inner voice. And collect all requirements. Tatheti harshat samunim kim karomitya bhashata tamuvacha mahateja vasishtho jnaninam varaha shvaprabhate madhyakakshe kanyaka swarna bhushitaha तिष्ठन्तु षोडश गजः स्वर्णरत्नादिभूषितः चतुर्दनतः समायातु ऐरावतकुलोद्भवः नानातीर्थोदकैपूर्णाः स्वर्णकुम्भासहस्रशः. Saying all right, tatheti harshat sa munim kim karomitya bhashata. Saying all right, Sumantra gladly asked sage Vashishta what was to be done. Then the sage, who was the best among the wise, so Dashrath Maharaj did not take advice, did not take advantage of his wisdom. He told him what was to be done. It is anything. Everywhere he is asking his suggestion. This time he doesn't ask. Then the sage, who was the best among the wise, learned ones, and most brilliant in knowledge, said to him, what did he say? He said, Shvaprabhate madhyakakshe kanyaka swarna bhushita tishtantu shodasha gajaha swarna ratnadi bhushita. Tomorrow morning, 16 virgin girls, fully decorated with golden ornaments, should be stationed at the central gate of the palace, and 4 tusked elephants, which has the pedigree of Airavat elephant, should be fully decorated with jewels, etc., and placed similarly alongside them, the girls at the gate. Thousands of gold pitchers full of holy water from different pilgrim cities should be collected. Now the preparation is being told. Sthapyantam navavayyaghra charmani trini chanaya Shweta-chhatram ratna-dandam mukta-mani-virajitam divyamalyani vastrani divyanyabharanani cha munaya satkrutas-tatra tishthantu kushapanayah nartakyo varamukhyancha gayaka venukastatha nanavaditra kushala Vadayantu nrupangane. Bring the 3 new tiger skins and a parasol, ceremonial umbrella with a gem-studded handle and embellished with muktamani, a particular type of pearl. Numerous magnificent and beautiful garlands, clothes, garments, robes, ornaments should be brought and kept ready, while many sages and seers who had been duly honored previously should be ready with the kusha, a type of grass or reed used in religious rituals, in hand at the anointment site. Numerous female dancers, chief male singers, courtesans, expert musicians and players of Indian lute who are present in the city should commence singing, dancing and playing their various musical instruments in the royal forecourt forthwith. From now only, not tomorrow, from now only start all the band baja. So that the whole Ayodhya comes to know a great event is beginning to happen. इत्यादिश्य मुनि श्रीमान सुमंत्रम नृपमंत्रिणम स्वयं जगाम भवनम राघवस्यातिशोभनम रथमारुह्य भगवान् वसिष्ठो मुनिसत्तमः त्रीणि कक्षाण्यतिक्रम्य रथात् क्षितिमवातरत. Having commanded the royal minister Sumantra and as above, as sage Vashishta himself proceeded to the palace of Raghav Shri Ram, the most exalted sage mounted a chariot and crossed the first 3 gates of the palace and then dismounted. So here it is not the Yoga Vashishta. Here it is Ramchandraji will not accept only, but then he convinces them or something like that. Let's see what he says. Antah pravishya bhavanam swacharyatvad gurumagatamagnyaya ramasturnam krutanjalihi pratyuggamya namaskritya dandavat bhakti sanyutaha swarnapatrena paniyam aninayashu janaki. Since he was the chief priest, he went straight unopposed inside the palace, because only the father, mother, and or the immediate brothers, sisters, and the Kul Guru, they were allowed to enter directly into the palace. Otherwise, everyone has to send a message that I have come, please tell, and then they will say, okay, let them in. He could go in and stood up, seeing that his Guru has arrived. Sri Ram immediately stood up to welcome him with folded hands and prostrated before him with reverence, just as at that time Janki Sita brought water in a golden pot. Immediately, whenever, this is our Shishtachar, in our house, anyone comes, immediately, if they are young, elder to us, we must touch their feet. If they are of our own age, we slap them. Hey man, give me 5. Huh? If they are younger to you, if you are younger, if you are older and some younger one comes, then what you should do? Then the younger one automatically will fall at your feet. But you should not feel great. You should hug, or you should make them comfortable. And then, if some thief comes, then what do you do? Huh?
Call police.
Call police. Call police. And secondly, second thing, whenever a guest comes, old, your age or younger, give them a glass of water. पहले खड़ी साखर देते थे ना, to replenish their energy. Here we give water. That is our tradition. Ratnas, ये कर लिया हमने? नहीं. रत्नासने समावेश्य पादौ प्रक्षाल्य भक्तितः तदपशिरसा घृत्वा सीतया सह राघवः धन्योऽस्मीत्यब्रवीद् गामः तव पादाम्बुधारणात् श्रीरामेणैव मुक्तस्तु प्रहसन्मुनिरब्रवीत्. Then Raghav, Sri Ram, seated him on a jewel-studded throne, meaning he gave his own throne through him. Just like King Dasharath afterwards, before, he gave his own throne to Vishwamitra. He says, it is your kingdom, please give me order, I will follow it. He said, give me Ram and Lakshman. Gadbad ho gaya. So here, but that is the way. If you know, when we were kids, or when you were kids, in your house, if any guest came, did you put them on the sofa or on the floor? What was the tradition? The parents will always give the guest their own bed. They will sleep on the floor. Now we are in Kali Yuga. What do? We put them on a floor somewhere, and no, it is my bed. I can sleep only on my bed. I am comfortable on my bed. I will not be displaced from my bed. पर याद है ना बचपन में कैसे होता था? Anyone came, the main bed used to go to the guest. You will do that too if Swami comes, but you will not do it to any guest. See how corrupted we have become now. Why? Now our bed we are attached to. Our comfort we are attached to. Guest is secondary. With those days, guest was primary. Atithi Devo Bhava. Now what it is? Bed Devo Bhava. My body Devo Bhava. Atithi secondary Devo. Observe this in our life. I am only talking from observation. So then Raghav Sri Ram seated him on a jewel-studded throne, gave his own throne and washed his feet, and putting that washed water on his head along with Sita, and said, "O sage, I feel very privileged by putting the water used to wash your feet on my head." When Sri Ram said this, sage Vasishta smiled and replied, we'll say it till the next two verses we'll do, and then we'll conclude. Tvatpada salilam ghrutva dhanyo bhud girijapati dhanyo bhud girijapati brahmapi matpita te पादतीर्थ हता शुभः इदानीं भाषसे यत्त्वं लोकानाम् उपदेशकृत जानामि त्वां परात्मानं लक्ष्म्या संजातमीश्वरम्. O Sri Ram, sage Vasishta is replying, O Sri Ram, Lord Shiva, the husband of Parvati, had felt highly grateful, fortunate and privileged by keeping the water used to wash your feet on his head, a reference to river Ganges, while my own father had become freed of all sins and misdemeanors by drinking it. See, Sage Vasishta is saying that when Brahmaji did washed the feet of Narayana, the water that fell, which came as the Akasha Ganga, Lord Shiva took it on his head. That is like we take it. आजकल नया फैशन है. आज भी मैं किसी के घर सत्यनारायण के गया था, so we, after the tirth, we immediately, someone is carrying a, what you call, tissue box behind. When did you do all this, man? What do you do with prasad? When you take tirth, what do you do with that tirth? You put it over your head, whatever the wet is there, you put it on your eyes and you wipe it on your head. If you take the shira, whatever oil is there, you put it on your head, and rest you rub it on your hand. You don't wipe it on a tissue. It's prasad. See how corrupted we have become. जरा सोचिए कैसे बिगड़ रहे हैं हम. We are only 5,500 into Kaliyuga. हाल देखो. When did Kaliyuga begin? When Sri Krishna left the earthly abode, isn't it? That was 5,500 years ago. 5,700 something years. इतना करप्शन हो गया, इतना डिग्रेडेशन हो गया. Only way to come to keep the impact of Kali away is Lord's name. That's all. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Kali Santarno Vinishad. उसमें आता है, नारद जी बताते हैं. And my own father had become freed of all sins and misdemeanors by drinking it, just in order to show the world what treatment should be meted out to one's guru. You are talking in this manner. I know it fully well that you are manifestation of Lord Vishnu, who is Paramatma, supreme being and supreme soul, along with Lakshmi. Sage Vasishta comes to, he has taught Sri Ram, he has been present when Rama and Sita were getting married. Now he has come to do the job of giving the message of his father to Sri Ram, and is getting his feet washed by Sri Ram and Sita, knowing fully well that Ram and Sita are Narayan and Lakshmi. This is Vyavhar. This is Vyavhar. Vyavhar is whatever is set, that we must. We must do that. There Ramchandra ji is young, he is not appearing in front of me as Narayana. Sage Vasishta knows that. So if you are बीइंग, अब जैसे हमको कभी कभी लोग पाद पूजा कर देते हैं, हाँ, नो, देयर इज नथिंग टू फील ग्रेट अबाउट इट. These are the thoughts that go through our head. Or we are chanting Sahasra Shirsha Purusha, or we are chanting Guru Stotram. Internally we are doing that, knowing fully well it is there. The one who is doing it is his greatness, that he is finding something great here. And he is not doing the Abhishek or washing the feet of the person. He is washing the feet of the inner Atma, the Lord that is within. His feet he is washing. But if you think that your feet are lag gayi, फिर तो बैंड बज गया. उसके बाद it is not that way. That time we also have to remember that way. I know it fully well. Idanim bhashase yatvam lokanam upadeshakruta, for the benefit of the world, to give upadesh to the world, that even though you know that you are Lord Narayana, yet for maintaining maintaining the dharma that you are doing, washing my feet, I completely know. One's guru, you are talking in this manner, I know it fully well that you are manifestation of Lord Vishnu. Sage Vasishtha has got no doubt as regards that. So, do you have any doubt as regards your wife that she is Lakshmi? Do the wives have no doubt that their husbands are Narayana itself? सोचो, ये सोचने वाली बात है. But where we take them as face value, and then we start arguing and fighting and see. भाव बहुत जरूरी है. Who is Paramatma? Now, what was the message of his father with which Sage Vasishtha has come to Sri Ram's palace? He will communicate that, which we'll look at in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om.